I'm very careful with my thoughts. I'm very careful not to put myself into a stressful space. Diet played a big role here. I'll speak a little bit more about it. Meditation is a way for me to control my thoughts. I'm very focused with my meditation. It's something I do every day. Movement and dance. I started to find a purpose. Now, practicing all of the cannabis allowed me to come out of that space where I could feel like I had a purpose. I wanted to be alive. I wanted to contribute to society. I wanted to share the information that I had found. Fun and laughter was back in my life again. You know, we human beings are the only creatures on the planet that can laugh. When I started laughing, the sunshine came back into my home. So applying all of this, it really was a massive change for me. Now when it comes to food, researching on the internet, I found Dr. Terry Wallace. It was one of her first TED Talks that I listened to. Dr. Terry Wallace is a professor of medicine at the University of Iowa. And she was diagnosed with secondary progressive MS. She tried the best of the best DMDs on the market. And she was in the wheelchair. She had special recliners made for her when she was at home. She didn't want to sit in the wheelchair when she got home as well, with all the walkers. And she said, there's something, the drugs are not working. I need to look at something else. And she started investigating exactly what nutrients the myelin needed. What nutrients does the body need to make more myelin? And she discovered the diet that is based, a plant-based diet was the trick. She used animal products as well, which I don't. So there's slight differences with our diet, but she also healed herself completely from the secondary progressive MS. She's now doing mountain biking, entering competition. She's on the go. Matt Embry, also diagnosed with MS, healed himself completely on a plant-based diet, and he is now spreading the word. He's just done a movie called Living Proof, giving patients proof that they can get well. Apparently, currently now, he's suing the MS Society of Canada for not giving the MS patients this information. Dr. George, or Professor George Jelinek, his mother was diagnosed with MS. She actually committed suicide from the condition, and then he was diagnosed, and he said he does not want to live her life. And he started investigating, and he's done the book, Overcoming Multiple Sclerosis, and his program is very much meditation and diet. We have Bob Cafaro, he's a musician. He did the same thing, the extraordinary power of a plant-based diet and meditation. He was also told he will never play his instruments again. He's now 100% well. Here we have Anne Borrock. She also looked at diet, detox. She's a nutritionalist, and she was able to heal a number of patients diagnosed with autoimmune disease, rid them of all their symptoms. So looking more at our diet, I became very curious in terms of our gut. You know, the vagus nerve is connecting the brain to the gut. It is the body, the brain is listening to the gut. You know, we describe the gut as the second brain in the body. So I was investigating exactly what's happening with the gut. And from my research, I discovered what is called a leaky gut. And I looked at the nutrition that could help that, and I also became very aware of the pH of my blood. All right, the pH of the blood is 7.4. It needs an alkaline medium, and the foods I was eating was too acidic. It was toxic for my body. I needed to make sure I was eating live nutrients that could bring my body into a homeostasis phase. Food became the most powerful drug to me. It is now seen as the most powerful drug on the planet. You know, you upgrade or you downgrade your biological software by what you put in your mouth. Whatever we put a piece, food in our mouth, it's an instruction to the rest of the body on how to react. So when we look at a leaky gut, exactly what is happening in the leaky gut? Our gut wall is a very thin epidermal layer that is sitting there, that's allowing the nutrients to go through. Now the gut starts at the mouth and it ends at an anus. It is just a pipe running through. It keeps everything in there, digests it, and sends it out when the body can use those particles. And zonulin is the protein that gives the instructions to open the gut wall and send these nutrients out that the body needs. Now gluten carries a protein called gliadin that stimulates zonulin production. So when there's too much of zonulin produced, these gut walls open up too wide. So before the nutrients, before the food is ready to leave the gut, it is going out. So now we're getting toxins, we're getting pathogens, we're getting undigested nutrients escaping here. And so it's going to the bloodstream. And what does our immune system do when something foreign enters the bloodstream? It goes on the attack. That's what it's taught to do. And that's exactly what our immune system does. Now here's the thing. The immune system is, the food molecules are too big, so it identifies it as foreign, and it needs to attack it. So our immune system is not, we suppress the immune system in an autoimmune condition because we don't understand this whole process, so we shut it down completely. And that's what the DMDs do, that's what the solumedrol is doing. So I really looked at that and I said, okay, why is it attacking my myelin sheath? If it's attacking all of this, why is it attacking my myelin sheath? And then I found papers in the medical journals that I looked at that looked at a protein called eutrophalin that is present in milk. And we have now discovered what is called molecular mimicry. The proteins share its sequence to myelin sheath. Okay, so the sequence of the myelin sheath and the sequence of eutrophalin are very similar. So my immune system, thinking it's attacking the eutrophalin from the food I have eaten, doesn't know that the myelin sheath is not the eutrophalin, and it's attacking my myelin sheath. So I stopped all the dairy. And then I realized, as a mammal, if we eat another mammal, there is a lot of molecular mimicry happening there. So there is no way that meat should be allowed into the diet of somewhere with an autoimmune patient. It's a very likely chance that an autoimmune patient has a leaky gut. That's what's sending the immune system into a crazy space. And we need to make sure that we're not adding more fuel to that fire. So I stopped the dairy completely. I stopped the gluten completely. I became very aware of the foods we ate. This is detailed in the book. I became very aware of my thoughts. Everything I did was to enhance that parasympathetic nervous system to just allow my body to heal itself. Healing an incurable condition starts with a thought. I held that thought very strongly. And I was very aware all the time, the conversations I had, where I was going, what I was doing. There were times where I did get angry, I got sad, and I very consciously focused on getting myself out of that space because I was the one that was going to battle. In order to manage my stress, I used the breathing therapy, I used movement therapy, I used water therapy, thought therapy with my meditation, and something I want to bring your attention to is gratitude therapy. With gratitude therapy, this is something I practiced after looking at this experiment. Dr. Masaru Emoto is a Japanese scientist who was able to expose water to different sounds and words and then crystallize the water molecule and photograph it under an electron microscope. These results were mind-blowing. All he did was write the words, "You make me sick," on a container, filled it with water and left it overnight. And when he photographed it, this is how it looked. When he wrote the words love and gratitude, this is how the water molecule looked. Now, we all agree that the body is made up of 70% water. Every chemical reaction either happens in the medium of water or uses water in the reaction itself. Now, in order for reactions to take place, we need structure. So if my water is looking like this, there is no chemical reaction happening in there. So I became very conscious of the words I was using. And this slide, this is a photograph of water that was found in nature and around healthy cells. This was the structure of water. And the structure of water, after you wrote the words thank you on the container, matched that exactly. So I said, okay, the words thank you creates a molecule exactly the shape of water in a healthy cell. So I can do this. Let's start saying thank you. And this was one of the first things that I started practicing. I must say, I lying there in fetal position, I started to say thank you. You know, sometimes the pain was so much, tears rolling down, I would find something to say thank you. Thank you for the bed. Thank you for my mother that's bringing me the food. Thank you for Rajan in my life. Thank you for my children. And I would say this over and over and over again. And guess what? From fetal position, I started to straighten up. I started to sit up just from saying thank you. This is something so simple, but it had a profound effect on me. So ladies and gents, following the Take Charge Wellness formula, wellness equals love plus a change in food, change in attitude, change in thought, plus activity, and multiply this with discipline and motivation, removing the triggers. Today, the headaches are gone. The pain throughout my body is gone. The nausea and vomiting gone completely. Burning, tingling, pins and needles are gone. The blurred vision is gone. That deep, dark depression is no more. The fatigue and exhaustion, no more. The severe pain in my right ankle, not there anymore. I must say, when I go out into a restaurant, as much as I order the food I'm supposed to eat, sometimes it's not exactly what I wanted. Within 24 hours, I will get pain in my right ankle. I'll have water for the entire day, the following day, pain is gone. As soon as I have any of the symptoms coming, I go back to my formula, I reach homeostasis, the symptom disappears. The pain in the right shoulder and wrist, that was gone. The insomnia is gone. Bladder incontinence, no more. The constipation and diarrhea, where I used to fluctuate from one to the other, no more. The MS hug was the last one to leave, and it's finally gone. That's interesting, it's around the heart area. I had to really sort the emotions out. The MS hug disappeared. Lermit side, gone completely. The pain, numbness, tingling throughout my body is gone. So the question I know sitting in all your minds is Mala Naidoo in remission? Now, according to your medical textbooks, diagnosed with secondary progressive multiple sclerosis, there is no remission. I don't have any of these symptoms anymore. So what word do you use to describe where I am right now? There isn't one in the medical textbooks. So guess what? I came up with a word. It's called MALAWELL. It's an adjective, a word describing a person diagnosed with an incurable disease who is symptom-free as a result of being able to control the disease with disciplined lifestyle choices and by avoiding its triggers. Ladies and gents, when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. For the first time in the history of our species, we are finally able to have an accurate insight into the biology of the human being. We are able to understand the laws that govern this biology. I didn't just receive a miracle. I went out, I took action, and I made the miracle happen. And I'm hoping all your patients can have that too. Thank you so much for listening.